Mike McCarthy has signed his contract and is now officially the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm Rob Stats Guerrero from the Pro Football Insiders. Let's talk about that for a second. Mike McCarthy's hiring in Pittsburgh was met with, let's say, mixed at best reaction from the fans. A lot of people do not like Mike McCarthy, do not think Mike McCarthy is a very good head coach, and do not think he is the guy to build up the Steelers back to their former glory. However, if you contrast that with the response to the hiring of John Harbaugh in New York, you see two very different reactions from fans and the national media. The hiring of Harbaugh was generally praised, generally seen as a huge step up for the New York Giants franchise and a guy that could return them to their former glory. Here's the thing I don't think most people are aware of. They're kind of the same coach. Take a look at the resume comparison. Mike McCarthy has been coaching for 17 years, John Harbaugh for 16. The winning percentage, as you can see, is basically identical at 62. Harbaugh is 12-10 in the playoffs. McCarthy is 11-11. Harbaugh has 5 division titles. Mike McCarthy has 7. And of course, both have won Super Bowl championships. So why is the Harbaugh signing praised while the Mike McCarthy hiring is panned? I think there is generally a perception that McCarthy did less with more, considering he had prime Aaron Rodgers and had basically several disappointing playoff losses. Now, of course, John Harbaugh had Lamar Jackson, who won multiple MVPs as well, and he did not have a ton of playoff success either. So I think criticism of both is fair. If you're going to praise the hiring of John Harbaugh in New York, you really don't have a reason to knock the Mike McCarthy hiring in Pittsburgh. If you want to knock the McCarthy hiring in Pittsburgh, I think you could do that. There's enough ammunition there. But also, should you really be super thrilled for the New York Giants for hiring John Harbaugh? I think you got to treat them both the same. The reality is right now, I think the Giants are more set up for success. I think that the Giants have a more interesting roster with more stars on it. I think Pittsburgh has a little more work to do, quite frankly. But it's interesting to see the two responses to hirings of a guy who's kind of the same thing when you really stop and think about it. Who knows how it's going to turn out? Obviously, a lot of work to do before we get to next season, but just something to keep an eye on. Don't always go by the national narrative. Maybe take a look at what the numbers have shown and make up your own opinion.